That was Riding Home with the Reader. We are live off the floor at Conquerall Music for the Conquerall Mills Music Show on 88.7 Cove FM and online at covefm.com. I am your host, Stefan Ramey, and tonight I am pleased to be featuring the honest, emotional, and humorous music of Alex Hickey.
My granddad fished out in this bay. My mother packed fish in the plant. And now all that's gone, and what remains are widow walks, fresh painted by come from a ways. And the sky is the same changeable blue and clouds, same golden sun, shining red at daybreak or when day is done. And each day I drive the river road to town and work glued to my desk and screen and wonder if this work will stay while all around me I see jobs evaporate. And each night I drive the river road, my heart in my mouth, just like Granddad said he always felt when he sailed south. And the sky is the same changeable blue and clouds, same golden sun, shining red at daybreak or when day is done. And my brother phones from Edmonton to tell me life is passing me by. If you stay there, you'll never meet an eligible guy. You're getting older. And what will happen then if you've no kids? No man. But I fell in love when I was just a girl with waves that foam and curl and throw themselves onto this sand, holding nothing back. They hurl themselves upon the mercy of this land, and I am the same changeable blue and clouds, same golden sun, shining red at daybreak or when day is done. Thank you very much.
And that was River Road by our performer tonight, Alex Hickey. Alex, do you want to tell us a little bit about that song, please?
Yes, I'd like to. I wrote it pretty much driving home from choir practice in Riverport. I used to be in the Riverport Community Choir, and now I'm a community choir dropout. Several times over, I've rejoined and dropped out again. It's super fun, but I often find that I don't have enough time. And so I just keep sort of going and not going. But I wrote that one driving along the 332 and the 331, the two highways, the river roads, one on the Riverport side and one on the LaHave side here. And I just thought I was sort of imagining what it might have been like if, my family, the part of my family that's from Nova Scotia, left to find work in the 50s. And I sort of was thinking, what might it have been like if my family hadn't left and I'd, lived here my whole life and grown up here and been raised here right along.
Can you tell me how you got your start in music?
I've always sung all my life. My father was a big fan of road trips, and we used to go on long, long road trips. We once drove from Toronto to San Diego and back again, and we'd sing in the car all the way. So I always loved to sing, but I wasn't necessarily that great a singer when I was a kid, at least not according to some of the feedback that I got. But I was not discouraged. And I just kept singing. And then when I was in my late teens and early 20s, when I was at university, I was invited to join a Celtic rock band that was like 8 people, very sort of loose and fun. We did a lot of Pogues covers and things like that. And that's when I really started to, do music, in front of larger audiences and that sort of thing. And then it's just gone from there, solo and then long breaks and then solo again. And I'm sort of in the middle of another long break.
Well, I certainly am very pleased that you took a break from your break to come in here and perform for us tonight. So thank you very much, Alex.
Thank you very much. I'm a big fan of Cove FM, and I'm really pleased to be able to do the show. And a big fan of your show, too.
Well, let's have another song. What are you going to play for us next, Alex?
This next one dates back to my Toronto days. It's a song that I wrote. I lived in Toronto for about 22 years. I went up there for university, and it took me a long time to make my way back home. And while I was up there, I sort of was I was a yuppie, basically. I had a house and, a partner and, lots of expendable income. And when I had the house, I was thinking I really needed to get a statue of the Buddha so that everybody would know how zen and cool I was. And I went shopping for Buddha statues and realized that Buddha would really hate that. So, so that prompted me to write a song about it, which is called Buy More Buddhas. Oh, she needs a small reminder of what's going on inside her. Something to tell her to be strong, to tell her to stay calm. So she buys more Buddhas, buys everyone they'll sell her. Yeah, Buddha wouldn't like it, but he's not around to tell her how to act or who to be. If only it were that easy, if only it were that easy. Now there's a Buddha in the garden, fishes swimming round his toes, and a Buddha in the hallway, blessing all who come and go. And there's a Buddha in our office, where we work from dawn till night. Well, as long as Buddha's here, guess everything's alright. We'll buy more Buddhas, buy everyone they'll sell us. Yeah, Buddha wouldn't like it, but he's not around to tell us how to act or who to be. If only it were that easy, if only it were that easy. Now there's a Buddha in the bathroom, staring at me in the tub. Lucky Buddha in the kitchen, give his chubby tum a rub. And there's a Buddha in the living room, perched on the TV. Well, I hope that he likes CSI repeated endlessly. And there's a Buddha in the bedroom, so let's keep the action zen. We can always turn him to face the wall. Every now and then we buy more Buddhas, buy everyone they'll sell us. Yeah, Buddha wouldn't like it, but he's not around to tell us how to act or who to be. If only it were that easy, if only it were that easy. So we'll buy more Buddhas, we buy more Buddhas, we buy more Buddhas, we buy more Buddhas. Thank you.
And that song was called Buy More Buddhas. What were you thinking about when you wrote that song, Alex?
It's just thinking about how, I'm not a Buddhist, and I was raised Catholic, but I've been an atheist for a long time, and I found it so interesting that cultural piece is so pervasive that people think nothing of appropriating an icon from another religion because they feel like it represents something to them. And that I fell into that trap and was in that vibe, just it made me laugh, and I thought I wanted to sort of make a comment on it.
So we actually have time for 2 more songs before we get to our first break. So I think I'm going to turn my show over to you for these next 2. What are you going to play for us next, Alex?
This next one will be called Four Walls. This is sort of running the broad expanse from living in a 2,000 square foot home in Toronto to now living in a tiny house, at least in the summers, which is 240 square feet. And I moved into that house in the spring 3 years ago. And I moved in a little earlier than I was planning to for a variety of reasons. And the weather was just dreadful freezing rain and sleet and snow for about 5 days. And I'd just gone through a really bad breakup, and so I wrote this song, which is half breakup song and half love song to my house and my cat. It's called Four Walls. All I need are four walls, a wood stove, a roof. All I need are four walls, a wood stove, a roof, and my cat. All I need are four walls, a wood stove, a roof, and my cat and you. But I can't have you. It sounds real pretty if you sing along on that chorus, so if you feel like it, by all means. The rain keeps falling, it mocks my despair. Got no running water, so I can't wash you out of my hair. So I guess you are stuck in there, between my ears and behind my eyes. All I need are four walls, a wood stove, a roof. All I need are four walls, a wood stove, a roof, and my cat. All I need are four walls, a wood stove, a roof, and my cat and you. But I can't have you. Lovely. And if I had power, I'd light up a sign. Says my heart's broken, but who cares, I'll be fine. We wasted our you-know-what kind of time, so play that song again. And we won't think twice, my friend. All I need are four walls, a wood stove, a roof. All I need are four walls, a wood stove, a roof, and my cat. All I need are four walls, a wood stove, a roof, and my cat and you. But I can't have you. And we were fools to believe that we could stay together, though we live worlds apart. And we were crazy to think that all of our brightness could counter the dark. So I'll sulk in my house and you sulk in yours. I don't need walls, I need windows and doors. And thank God that my house is on wheels, 'cause I think it's time to move on. Yeah, I know it's time to get gone. All I need are four walls, a wood stove, a roof. All I need are four walls, a wood stove, a roof, and my cat. All I need are four walls, a wood stove, a roof, and my cat and you. But I can't have you. And my cat and you. But I can't have you. Thank you. And so this next song I'm going to do is called Decapitating Daisies, which is a sort of a unrequited love song. I'm good at unrequited love, and I'm good at unrequited love songs. And there's a great quote from, I think it's Arlo Guthrie, who said that if you're playing more than two chords, you're just showing off. And I certainly sometimes belong to that school of thought. And this is a two-chord song. The same two chords as my favorite two-chord song, I think, is Shelter from the Storm. And this uses the same two chords as that. Well, I'm decapitating daisies in the dark, wondering, do you love me not? Well, I've got a moonbeams and a scared and fragile heart, and I'm decapitating daisies in the dark. Well, the petals fall around me one by one, and when they say you love me, that's when I'm done. Well, I do this in the moonlight, 'cause our love won't bear the sun, and the petals fall around me one by one. Oh, if I should ask you straight out, yes or no, well, I'm scared that you would tell me where to go. So I sit here pretending that somehow the daisies know that I should ask you straight out, yes or no. Well, I long to be upstairs with you in bed, but I'm out here sitting on the lawn instead. Oh, baby, like the daisies, I'm losing my head, 'cause I long to be upstairs with you in your bed. Well, I'm decapitating daisies in the dark, wondering, do you love me not? And all I've got are moonbeams and a scared and fragile heart, and I'm decapitating daisies in the dark. Yeah.
So that was Decapitating Daisies by my guest tonight, Alex Hickey. And before that, it was Four Walls, correct?
That's right.
Yes. So we're actually coming up on our first break on the Conquerall Mills Music Show. So please stay tuned for more music and stories from Alex after the break. And we are back. You are listening to the Conquerall Mills Music Show with my guest this evening, Alex Hickey. Alex, your first two CDs, one is entitled Love Bites, and the other one is called The Day the Money Ran Out. Can you you describe those two albums as basically sort of breakup albums? I want to know, is it easier to write a sad song versus a happy song?
Good question. I find angry songs the easiest to write. If I have a head of steam up about something, I find those are the easiest ones to write. Vulnerable songs are often the hardest. You know, the ones where you're really, bearing your soul. The ones no one wants to listen to, like those ones. Those can be kind of agonizing to write. In terms of sad and happy, I think I probably write more sad songs than happy songs. But I don't think they're easier to write. I think I just get in the mood to write more often when I'm sad than when I'm happy. That's
sort of your muse, I guess?
In a way. I mean, I like both states, but I think the sad state kind of lends itself a little more to that creative process.
Wicked. The next song you have for us, I really like the title of this one. What are you going to play for us next, Alex?
I'm going to play Moonshine and Mischief. And this is, I see, a favorite of a few people who are here tonight. And it's one of my favorites as well. It's a duet, but I'm going to sing both parts tonight. And on my record, Blackbirds, Tom Terrell does a lovely version of the man's part. And my friend and neighbor who's here tonight, Jim Bell, does a lovely version too. And I almost called you, Jim, to ask you if you would sing. And then I thought, I kind of feel like doing it both parts myself. So here you go, and you'll probably hear the man's voice come in, kind of, as we go. So here we are. There's arsenic in the wells, there's moonshine in the stills, and it feels like the hills are closing in on the slow, slow poisons in my veins. I've known whiskey and warnings all of my life, and my mama told me never become the wife of moonshine and mischief like Jimmy McGee. And I was just 17 when he first courted me. He seemed so strong and so certain and free. Oh, moonshine and mischief, will you marry me? I've known whiskey and women all of my life, and that pretty girl shot through my heart like a knife. I promised moonbeams on the hillside if she'd be my wife, and her mama's against me. I know that it's true, that her brothers and sisters and friends want her too. They said that Jim is all moonshine and mischief. He's bad news. There's arsenic in the wells. There's moonshine in the stills, and it feels like the hills are closing in on the slow, slow poisons in my veins. Well, I'm married in haste, and I'm repenting at an easy pace, and I catch people pitying me, 'cause it's all moonshine and mischief for young Mrs. McGee. And I believe he still loves me, but it keeps me up nights. He can't say no to whiskey or women or fights. Yeah, he's always got moonshine and mischief in his sights. Never can keep. Sometimes I sit up nights, I watch my pretty wife sleep, while moonshine and mischief keep calling to me. And I wish I was stronger, but I'm not, and I know they will keep calling, and I'll get up and go. Oh, moonshine and mischief are killing me slow. There's arsenic in the wells. There's moonshine in the stills, and it feels like the hills are closing in on the slow, slow poisons in my veins. Yeah, the slow, slow poisons in my veins.
That one was Moonshine and Mischief by my guest tonight, Alex Hickey. It seems that those two things would be intrinsically linked together, moonshine and, probably once you have a little bit of that, bound to get into some mischief. I don't suppose there's any sort of literal, there was no point where you drank a bit of moonshine and got into some mischief, or...
No, I have drunken, was that even the right word? Poitín, which is Irish moonshine. But the song didn't come from that. The song arrived in a very strange way. It just sort of landed on me, the first two verses in 2007, and then I kind of forgot about it, and the second two verses and the chorus came in 2010. And then I was like, oh, there's a song. So it really did feel like one of those gift from heaven songs.
So it took you a little while to complete it with your music. Have you ever had other instances of that with your music where it's taken you perhaps a little bit longer? You start it and then you have to kind of leave it for a bit before you can finish it, or?
Absolutely. There have been songs that have sort of been on the drawing table for years sometimes. That one was just interesting because I didn't actually work on it in between. I did those two verses and then I kind of forgot about it, and then the rest of it just came down magically. It was very odd.
Your third album that has come out, Blackbirds, you describe as being about your return to rural Nova Scotia. You touched on this a little bit earlier when you said that you were living in Toronto, but maybe let's go a little bit further back. Where were you living before, and what brought you back to the South Shore?
Well, I've sort of moved around between Montreal and Toronto, and then moved to just outside Mahone Bay in 1981 when I was 10, and lived there through the last couple of years of elementary, junior high, and high school. And then I went to Toronto for university, and I stayed there for a long time. And then in 2010, I started thinking about moving home all through sort of the late 2000s. But in 2010, I finally just really decided. My grandmother was 97, and I wanted to come home and spend some more time with her while I still could. And also Rob Ford got elected in Toronto. And
bit of a motivator to get out of Dodge.
I felt I was done. Yeah.
What are you going to play for us next, Alex?
The next one I'm going to do is Knees Are Pushing 40, which is a little contemporary love song, a bit of a country song that I wrote. One of the reasons I left Toronto, I was in a relationship with someone in Toronto for 12 years, and that sort of kept me there. He was an Ontarian, and then the relationship ended, and so I stayed in Toronto for a few more years after that, trying to relearn how to date after not dating for a long time. And finally, I just sort of thought, why am I still here? So this is a song from that relearning how to date in your mid to late 30s kind of period. I was never very good at it, and I didn't really get much better. Well, my knees are pushing 40, but my heart's just 17. As I look across the table at your dimple and your smile, and I wonder how I'll fathom the depth of your blue eyes. And I feel just like a kid again, so scared and so alive. Yeah, I feel just like a kid again, so scared and so alive. Well, I never thought my armored heart would feel this way again. It's been broken and has healed so many times. And I thought all the scar tissue would keep me safely numb. Oh, but looking in your eyes, I see that would be a crime. Oh yeah, looking in your eyes, I see that would be a crime. 'Cause though my knees are pushing 40, well, my heart's just 17. As I look across the table at your dimple and your smile, and I wonder how I'll fathom the depth of your green eyes. And I feel just like a kid again, so scared and so alive. Yeah, I feel just like a kid again, so scared and so alive. Oh, I thought I had it all sussed out, that I could not be surprised, that love is just for fools and suckers too. But my cynicism fades away, I'm naked in your gaze, and I realize I haven't got a clue. Yeah, I realize I haven't got a clue. And so though I feel I'm at a loss for what to say to you, and I'm haunted by unhappy years behind, well, I look at you and realize that all I have to do is just stay right here, 'cause everything is fine. Oh yeah, stay right here and everything is fine. And though my knees are pushing 50, well, my heart's just 17. As I look across the table at your dimple and your smile, and I wonder how I'll fathom the depth of your brown eyes. And I feel just like a kid again, so scared and so alive. Yeah, I feel just like a kid again, so scared and so alive.
And that was Knees Are Pushing 40 by Alex Hickey. You said that song was about relearning how to date. I'm 32 and I still haven't figured out how to date to begin with. So you're a little bit further ahead than I am.
I was pretty much in the same boat. The song is mostly wishful thinking.
Tonight you're performing solo, but on your CDs you have some wonderful instrumentation. The songs that I've heard on Cove, you've got backing musicians in there. Do you prefer to play solo or in a group, and which one of those and why?
I like them both in different ways. I mean, solo's very easy. You know where you're going to be. You show up and you're there and you're good. I was in a lot of bands in the 90s and, they'd break up because the bass player's girlfriend dumped him or, something like that would happen. And when you're solo, you've just got yourself to count on, and then you always know where you stand. But it is such a pleasure to play with amazing groups of musicians. As I said, I played in a Celtic rock band when I was in my 20s. But the group that got together and played on the record Blackbirds that was recorded over at the Old Confidence Lodge, people like Jude Pelly and Geordie Comstock and Alan Jeffries and Jay Crocker, just had such an amazing time. Jenna Barry did some backup vocals. Tom Terrell sang on it. And it is so exciting and uplifting to play with a group of people. And we're so lucky to have so many amazing musicians in this area.
I was just about to say, that sounds like the all-star Lunenburg County lineup right there.
Totally, eh?
The next tune you're going to play for us is called LaHave River Ferry. It's one of our more famous, I guess attractions. Like, it's wrong to say it's a landmark, but can you tell me what about the ferry inspired this song?
Missing the ferry inspired this song. It's actually, the song really probably should be called Hurdles Beach, but that doesn't have the same ring to it at all. So you'll see why. Well, we missed the ferry by minutes, and I said I can't wait. There's a dark beach down the road, and it's calling out our names. There's a sleeping bag in the back, and I long to feel your hands. Hold me while you kiss me, and we lose my glasses in the sand. Yeah, we lost my glasses in the sand. And the fever that's between us, so I hope it lasts forever. 'Cause I long to have your lightning eyes and all your stormy weather. Sitting with me in the car in another 40 years, and we'll be running late, and you will say, my dear, oh, we missed the ferry by minutes, and you'll say, I can't wait. There's a dark beach down the road, and it's calling out our names. There's a sleeping bag in the back, and my blood is all the road. And we can catch the next ferry. Yeah, we can catch the next ferry. Maybe we'll catch the next ferry and go home and kiss some more. Go home and kiss some more. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Well, we missed the ferry by minutes, and we said we can't wait. There's a dark beach down the road, and it's calling out our names.
I'm pretty sure that probably everyone in this room at one point or another has missed that ferry.
I hope so.
It's always such a satisfying thing, though, when they catch you. They just leave and they've got enough room, and they'll stop and they'll come back and put the ramp down, let you drive on. That's like the redemption ferry ride right there.
That is the best. I always feel so loved when that happens to me.
We have time for one more song before our last break. You're going to play Blackbirds for us next, which is the namesake for the last album that you released. Can you tell me a little bit about this one before you sing it for us?
Yes, it's an a cappella song, and I wrote it at the Road to Stanfest Songwriters Workshop that I went to in 2011. There was an amazing year. Some of the faculty members were James Keelahan and David Francie and Craig Worth. And in a workshop that David Francie and Craig Worth gave, they said, go out into the workshops held in Sherbrooke Village, and they said, go out into the village and look around and find something that you see that you want to write about. And so we did that and came back and got the first maybe verse and a half in that period. And then David Francie was very gracious and helped me workshop the melody. So it's an a cappella song. And it's another, it's a historical love song, I guess. The Sherbrooke Village kind of inspired me to think about what it might have been like to be star-crossed lovers 150 years ago. Elm tree and columbine, blackbird, Mary, will you be mine, blackbird? You are my heart's delight, blackbird. How if we fly tonight, blackbird, blackbird, blackbird. blackbird, though I am longing to. Blackbird, my heart's no longer wild. Blackbird, now that I bear his child. Blackbird, when you see them on the wing, they shall bear my offering. Hearts unmoved, heads too wise, empty talons, glittering eyes. Blackbird, blackbird, blackbird. Light tapped the window pane. Blackbird, I called her name again. Blackbird, I pounded on the door. Blackbird, my heart pounding more. Blackbird, I turned and I flew up the hill, body burning, heart struck still. No one there to hear me cry, but the blackbirds in the sky. Blackbird, blackbird, blackbird.
And that was Blackbirds by Alex Hickey. We are going to take a short break. We will be back on the Conquerall Mills Music Show with more from Alex Hickey after these messages. We are back live off the floor at Conquerall Music for the Conquerall Mills Music Show on 88.7 Cove FM with my musical guest this evening, Alex Hickey.
There's something gone wrong between us, and I'd say we're doomed if I had to be honest. We're not talking the not talking blues. Well, I come home and I look at you, stuck to that TV set like glue. We're not talking the not talking blues. Oh, we're not talking the not talking blues. Well, we get into bed, we roll on our sides, we turn away from each other and we close our eyes. We're not talking the not talking blues. And we get up in the morning, it's just the same, and I'm not even sure you remember my name. We're not talking the not talking blues. Oh, we're not talking the not talking blues. Well, it can't go on forever, something's gotta give. I guess that'll be me giving you notice. We're not talking the not talking blues. Oh, we're not talking the not talking blues. Well, maybe you're bitter, and maybe you're mad, and maybe I'm angry, and maybe I'm sad, but we're not talking the not talking blues. Yeah, and maybe I'm sorry, and maybe I'm not, and maybe I gave just as good as I got. We're not talking the not talking blues. Oh, we're not talking the not talking blues. So we'll hand it to the lawyers, let them work it out. No need to scream and no need to shout. We're not talking the not talking blues. And I guess that it's over, simple as this. I thank God we never had kids. We're not talking the not talking blues. Oh, we're not talking the not talking blues. Yeah, we're not talking blues. Thank you.
And that was the Not Talking Blues by my guest tonight, Alex Hickey. Your songs cover a wide array of topics and themes. They all tell stories. Where does that storyteller aspect come from in your music? What influenced that in your music?
Well, I come from a family of storytellers, basically. I come by it very honestly. I sometimes say that the writing is the family business. My grandmother was Joyce Barkhouse, who wrote Pit Pony, among other books, and my mom is a poet and a writer, and my father's a journalist, and my sister used to be a journalist, and it goes back, my great-great-grandfather was a journalist.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So I come by it very honestly. In my family, telling stories is kind of like breathing, really. Everybody tells stories all the time. Never let the truth stand in the way of a good one, as my grandmother used to say. And so it just, for me, it manifested in songwriting mostly.
Okay, and then musically, where do you draw your influences from for either instrumentation or for your lyrical content?
I think the things that really formed me musically were traditional folk music, which was a big thing that I listened to a lot when I was a kid. Also, Broadway musicals, sort of strangely. And then, sort of, when I was just starting to write songs when I was 18 or 19, Bob Dylan and Buffy St. Marie and Pete Seeger and people like that would have been big influences. Arlo Guthrie, Malvina Reynolds. So that sort of storytelling and wanting to have the song say something, whether it was expressing a feeling or an idea or both, that's always been sort of important and vital to me in songwriting.
Well, you've worked it into your craft very well, so much so that I would very much like to hear another song. What are you going to play for us next?
This one is in a bit of a different vein. It's called This Little River, and it's a song that I wrote. I was invited to help open the Petite Park, the Petite Riviere Community Park, when it was opened in October a couple of years ago. And I thought, oh, that's lovely. And I thought, well, I'll sing River Road. And then 3 or 4 days before the opening, I thought I should really write a song for the park and the river. And I live in Crosstown now, I live very close to the Petite River, but I used to live in West Dublin, so I was more sort of on the ocean side. And I didn't know so much, so I asked friends if they would, give me some ideas and tell me some of their stories about the river, and they did. And I wrote this song, which I barely knew how to play at the opening, but I've rehearsed it up a bit better since. And people were very, very forgiving of me when I played it at the opening. So this is a song for the Petite River. Bless its heart. I love the Petite River. I love rivers in general, but the Petite's pretty special. This river is well loved. This river connects us. Between and all along her banks, life is thriving. We give thanks for this little river. Let's put in at the mill where they used to grind the flour. Her bones remind us still how she once fed us with her power. Yeah, this little river. This river is well loved. This river connects us. Between and all along her banks, life is thriving. We give thanks for this little river. Next we see the place we skate when the river turns to ice. Keep a close eye on your kids is everyone's advice on this little river. And then we see our favorite pool for all our summer swimming. Naked babies, boys and girls, and joyful men and women use this little river. This river is well loved. This river connects us. Between and all along her banks, life is thriving. We give thanks for this little river. And now we're past the school where kids raise trout to fill the water, and they learn to respect the lives of each turtle, whitefish, otter in this little river. Now we're at the general store, let's get out for a break and enjoy the park that we all built for everybody's sake by this little river. Why don't you go in the store and get us all an ice cream? Or eat them at the picnic table and watch the clouds and daydream. On we go to Sperry's, we'll see all our friends, I'm betting. But we won't see the tourists there, cause we don't tell them how to get in to this little river. And last of all, the ocean, as blue can be, cause everyone knows each river flows eventually to the sea, like this little river. This river is well loved. This river connects us. Between and all along her banks, life is thriving. We give thanks for this little river. And when I asked my friends and neighbors to help me find the chorus, I heard these wise words I must say. The river was here before us. Yeah, this little river. This river is well loved. This river connects us. Between and all along her banks, life is thriving. We give thanks to this little river.
Not gonna lie, Alex, that one almost made me cry a little bit.
Good. I know many people here will know that the folks in Petite Riviere are trying to save their school right now, so that song seemed particularly appropriate to sing. So important to have, to me it seems anyway, so important to have schools in local areas where, you know, people, the kids are really in their environment and really get to know, you know, what the place they live is about, what it means.
And that's one thing I've noticed about a lot of the students who go to Petite Elementary. They get to do things that, you know, they're growing vegetable gardens outside and learning about all that sort of stuff, which no other school's really teaching right now. You know, I'm lucky if I can make craft dinner, you know. A scathing indictment of the education system.
Totally.
But you have been on a hiatus, and you are, as I stated at the beginning of the show, taking a break from the hiatus to be in here tonight, and you're going to go back on hiatus, but you have a good reason for this. You've got a project in the works. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I'm so glad to be here because of my love of this show and Cove FM, but I have been focusing on a couple of things. One is a personal project. I'm trying to get a winterized cabin built on the piece of land where I have my tiny house. And the other one is a project that I'm planning to do next year in 2018. I did a 52-song project in 2015, I think, and did a song a week, and I'm planning to do that again in 2018. So I'm going to be brushing up my chops and putting one song a week on YouTube, which is a great way to express myself, share my music without having to drive all over and organize shows and do all that stuff that I'm not really feeling like I'm in the place to do that right now.
Excellent. When you get that project on the go, definitely let me know, and I'll make sure that that gets shared and posted, because it's always nice to promote previous guests on the show and whatnot. So you just keep me in the loop on that.
Thanks
okay?
very much, Stefan.
Now, the next song you have for us involves a fashion statement. I see you brought your chainsaw boots, so I'm a little scared, but sort of intrigued at the same time. What are you going to perform for us next?
This is an a cappella song that I wrote when I was splitting wood 2 summers ago. And I wasn't sure. I thought, oh, maybe it's a little risque to sing on the radio. And then I heard Morgan Davis's show. And I thought, there was plenty there that was just a little risque. And this is just a little risque. So I thought that it would be okay to sing it.
Oh, definitely.
Now, these boots made me 2 inches taller. Am I still good on the mic?
Oh, you were fine.
Excellent. So you have to imagine me wielding a splitting maul. And this has a audience participation component. So if you would like to yell "nice boots" with me when we get to that part, you'll see it coming. So, chainsaw boots are not just for chainsawing anymore. You can wear them out to dinner or out on the dance floor, and everyone will yell "nice boots" as you come through the door. Chainsaw boots are not just for chainsawing anymore. Well, I guess they're kind of heavy, and yes, they're pretty sweaty. You wouldn't want to wear them on a hike. Well, they're not considered sporty, but I'm rural over 40, and these are now the kind of boots I like. Oh, chainsaw boots are not just for chainsawing anymore. You can wear them out to dinner or out on the dance floor, and everyone will yell "nice boots" as you come through the door. Chainsaw boots are not just for chainsawing anymore. Well, lots of fellas like to date the girls in high-heel shoes, take them out for dinner and buy them lots of booze. I think those fellas aren't too bright, they're missing something good. If you date a gal in chainsaw boots, she'll help you with your wood. Chainsaw boots are not just for chainsawing anymore. You can wear them in the bedroom, he'll be crying out for more. You'll hear your lover yell "nice boots" as he comes through the door. Chainsaw boots are not just for chainsawing anymore. Well, it's partly for the color and the practical steel toes. It's partly for percussion at the local music shows. And when I get out my split and maul, I have no fear at all. My toes are safe behind a wall. I even wore them here. They're my favorite piece of gear. Chainsaw boots are not just for chainsawing anymore. You can wear them out to dinner or out on the dance floor, and everyone will yell, "Nice boots!" as you come through the door. Chainsaw boots are not just for chainsawing anymore.
I can picture you out in like the wood pile, piling and stacking wood, singing that song.
That's exactly how it happened.
Alex, if people want to know more about you, have access to your music, where can they go to find that?
I do have a website which has not been updated in, I think, 5 years. But it's alexsings.ca. And I will maybe update it before this show airs, maybe. I don't know. Could happen. I also have a YouTube channel, again, Alex Sings. I also have several videos on the Analog Songs YouTube channel, and I think I have 3 videos there. So pretty much a Google search for Alex Hickey music will probably pull me up. There are several other Alex Hickeys, most of whom are journalists on the internet, so you may come across them. Very strange. People in like Wales and the US who I never met and are no near relation.
Alex, unfortunately, we are getting to the end of the show. So you have one more song for us. What are you going to play for us last?
I'm going to play a song that I wrote. This is, I think, the most recently written song of mine. I was invited to go play a few songs at the December 6th memorial that the Second Story Women's Center hosted this past year. And I got inspired to write a couple of songs for that. And so this one is inspired by one of the campaign slogans from the U.S. election that we were all so avidly following. The slogan, "When they go low, we go high." I thought that was a beautiful idea and sentiment, so I wrote a song around it. Here it is. And this also is, please do sing along. It's a little tricky in the timing, but you'll get it. Here's the chorus. When they go low, we go high. When they go low, we go high. I don't need to tell you why. When they go low, we go high. When they go low, we go high. But they've got money and industry. When they go low, we go high. We've got solidarity. When they go low, we go high. They go low, we go high. Oh, when they go low, we go high. They go low, we go high. I don't need to tell you why. When they go low, we go high. They go low, we go high. The things they do to fill their greed. When they go low, we go high. We've got everything we need. When they go low, we go high. When they go low, we go high. Oh, when they go low, we go high. They go low, we go high. I don't need to tell you why. When they go low, we go high. They go low, we go high. They think they'll get their way by force. When they go low, we go high. But we got protests and we got courts. When they go low, we go high. When they go low, we go high. Well, when they go low, we go high. When they go low, we go high. I don't need to tell you why. When they go low, we go high. They go low, we go high. Well, they've got booze and designer drugs. When they go low, we go high. We've got hope and we've got hugs. When they go low, we go high. They go low, we go high. Oh, when they go low, we go high. They go low, we go high. I don't need to tell you why. When they go low, we go high. They go low, we go high. Oh, when they go low, we go high. They go low, we go high. I don't need to tell you They go low, we go high. They go low, we go high. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And that was They Go Low, We Go High by Alex Hickey. Alex, thank you again so much for coming in and performing for us tonight. Let's give her one more round of applause.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here and for singing. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Adam.
And now it comes time for me to say, the Conquerall Mills Music Show is hosted, produced, and mixed by Stefan Ramey, and our recording engineer this evening is Adam Fancy. To hear previous episodes of the Conquerall Mills Music Show, please visit our YouTube channel at Conquerall Music. Don't forget to subscribe to be alerted when new episodes are posted, and please tune in next week for the folk duo Pennybrook. You have been listening to the Conquerall Mills Music Show on 88.7 CKVE Cove FM and online at covefm.com. Keep it tuned to Cove FM for Time Machine with Bob McDonald at 9 p.m. Have a great evening.